Today is the review you have all been waiting for. Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain. And right off the bat, this is a great roller coaster. The first time I rode it was on June 27th, the first day I went to Six Flags Magic Mountain. And I am back as of June 29th. Kind of a short trip from where I live to go to California, but not that much to do anymore considering the fact that I've ridden all the other coasters, and they really never get old, some of them, such as X2, Tatsu, But Twisted Colossus is fantastic. So let's jump right in. The duration. Twisted Colossus is getting a 10. You can't really get that much better than this, except some of the longest coasters in the world. Twisted Colossus is a mind-blowing 3 minutes and 40 seconds long. It has a great duration. This is the longest coaster that I've ever been on, second being Bizarro at Six Flags New England. Next up we have the height, and Twisted Colossus is getting a 5. It's an average height. It isn't the biggest coaster that I've ridden. It's only 125 feet tall, which is not that big, not too small at the same time. It's average. It isn't that big, but the height and speed doesn't really matter for this coaster. And right off the bat, when I mentioned speed is the next category, which is also getting a 5. And that's what I meant. This coaster is really focused on the elements and overall ride experience than the height and speed. The speed is a 57 miles per hour, which is pretty good for a coaster like this. And it's getting a 5 because it's almost at the 6 point, which is 60 miles per hour. 57 miles per hour is quite fast, almost at the 60 mile per hour point. Not too fast, not too slow. Still pretty good. Next up we have the intensity, and Twisted Colossus is getting a 9. This is one intense coaster. You just get flung over those overbanks and airtime moments. It is quite intense. The drop is also intense, and actually speaking, the drop is getting another 9. The drop is an insane drop. You get turned to the side very slightly, then you just plummet down 80 degrees. It's a smaller drop, but because of how steep and intense it is, that's why it's getting a 9. Now, if only this drop was bigger, then it could potentially get a 10. Now we have the airtime, and Twisted Colossus is getting a 9, and here's why. This coaster has a mind-blowing 18 airtime moments, however, it lacks floater airtime. This coaster is all ejector airtime, but because of how much ejector airtime this coaster provides, that's why it's getting a 9. If this coaster used a bit more floater airtime, it could definitely get a 10. It is a very, very airtime-packed ride, but it's definitely not a coaster that has floater and ejector, just ejector. Now we have the restraints, and Twisted Colossus is getting a 9 again. Twisted Colossus has some really good restraints. Sometimes they tend to press on you, but they are overall good. Of course, they're not over-the-shoulder restraints because RMC coasters don't use those, and just because it goes upside down doesn't mean that they need over-shoulder restraints. But the lap bars are very good. I definitely like these lap bars and have no problems with them. Now we have the smoothness, and Twisted Colossus is easily getting a 10. When I rode this coaster June 27th, it was just a little bit over a month old. And so that's why it's getting a 10. It's glossy smooth, no rattle, no shakiness, no nothing that would affect your ride experience. Now we have the transitions. The transitions are getting a 9. And here's why. If you are flung into those overbanks and inversions, you're going to be kind of jerked to the side a little bit. But if you know how to handle these types of inversions, you'll give it a 10. Now, that's why overall, for everyone, it would come down to a 9. Now we have our inversions category, as a matter of fact, and this coaster is getting a 10. The inversions are really, really awesome. I really like these inversions. Only 2 inversions, but the inversions are epic. I really like these inversions. And now for our overall score, the moment you've all been waiting for. And let me just say right now, Twisted Colossus is a new entry into my top 10. This coaster is getting a 9.5. I haven't decided where in my top 10, but I know it's in between my top 10 and top 7 as of now. But remember, I'm visiting Cedar Point and Kings Island July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So, this can potentially be pushed back. But Twisted Colossus is easily in my top 10. It's a fantastic ride, and I highly recommend it if you're in the area.